Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to my live. Let's see who's tuned in. But before I kick off this segment, I just want to tell you guys that today is all about resumes. So typically I've been doing job search and Q&A, but today I want to talk on resumes because I've been getting a lot of DMs and a lot of people I've seen, even on LinkedIn, I've been seeing this as well. So I wanted to talk on resumes and why resume alone does not equal that you're going to land job interviews. First, let me see if I'm actually live on LinkedIn. Yes, I am. Okay, so as always, let's kick this segment off by you introducing yourself. Let me know where you tuned in from. So drop it in the comment section. And if you have any questions for me, also please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section and I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. So my name is Gurpreet Kaur. I am a career success coach, career strategist coach. I've been helping hundreds of career professionals over the years, helping them land into their dream jobs, the one that they're passionate about, truly aligned with their true potentials, as well as doubling and increasing their salaries to landing like I've helped people double to triple, like 40K, 60K, 100K, like landing highest paying salary jobs. And that's who I am. Just wanted to quickly take a moment to introduce who I am. I am based out of Toronto, Canada, Ontario, Canada, and I've been working with career professionals actually globally around the world. My expertise do lie with Canadian market as well as US market. So when I do my LinkedIn Live, I try to keep my perspective at according to my expertise. So I am a career coach that has been helping hundreds of career professionals truly get into alignment with who they are, their authentic selves, to then aligning that with their careers and being in jobs where you can showcase your unique, authentic self and feel passionate about the work you're doing. I think it's really important to be in a work that you are truly passionate about. And also getting paid for your talents, right? Your brains and your talents. I saw an interesting post today. Someone in my connection posted it, and I've been seeing this for years, that remember that as, it's equally like, companies need you as equally as you need a job. So companies need your talents in order for the company to continue to make profits and make money in their business. They need talent. So remember this. So I love that post I saw from one of my connections, and I was like, I've been saying this. Remember that companies need talent, your talent, in order for them to be successful, in order for them to continue to keep making money. So just like you want a job, company equally needs you. So remember this. It's an equal partnership, right? I say companies need you more than you even realize, because they need your talent. They need your brains. Now, definition of talent. How many people who are listening to this actually know the true definition of what talent means? Let's see it in the comment section. Shubham, hi Shubham. Hello Darshana. Hi Dr. G. I'm in West London, UK. Oh, thank you for tuning in from London. Hi Gurpreet. Hi, Olasunkanami. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Hi Jagjesh. Pharmaceutical from India, welcome. Hello Gurpreet, I'm from Montreal. I'm into finance and sales, welcome. Sunal, hi! Just saw this, hey there, making dinner here in Rizal. Oh, nice to have you, Sunal. I was like so shocked that you're popping up into my live. So nice to see you. I've been hopping onto your lives as well, and it's always filled with so much information. So now, so thank you for always sharing your insights to job seekers as well. So if you don't know Sanal, give her a follow. She shares tons of advice as well when it comes to job searching, and she's all the way in a whole different part of the world. So nice to see you, Sanal. Hi Dashana, hi. Okay, Navpreet from Toronto. Okay, so great. So many people from all over the world are tuning in. This is amazing. I love the energy. Thank you so much for sending good vibes and good energy. Now, so let me kick this off with the segment's all about resume and why resume alone is not going to land you job interviews. So I've been having these conversations in my DMs where people are messaging me. So I wanted to come on today to talk about this because I think there's a misconception out there that people automatically think that they downloaded a resume template, even if you got one from my website, that boom, it's gonna start landing them interviews. But here's the thing. It's not about, you can download, honestly speaking, you can download any template from any website, even the one that's saying, hey, download this and guarantee that you're gonna start landing interviews. That's wrong. The reason that's wrong is because it isn't about the template. It's all about the content, right? It's all about the words, the language you are going to use in your resume. That's gonna then equal to if you're gonna land those interviews, right? Now, keep in mind. Let me break down a little bit some basic not tactics, sorry, wrong words. I want to explain something very basic, something very basic in the sense, very common sense, okay? I just want you to picture this for a second. When you come across a job posting, right, online, be it from Indeed, be it for LinkedIn, I just want you to sit there for a second and just think for a second. If I saw it, how many other people are seeing the exact same posting? How many other people are going to be applying to the same role as me? How many resumes are going to be filtering into this organization for this job posting, right? So just take a moment back before you sit. I know you want to apply to that job. I know, and you saw it and like, let me hit that apply button and let me just apply. But being intentional when you're applying to jobs online is going to guarantee the success of you landing that job interview. So just take a moment back and just sit there and ask yourself, okay, I saw it. How many other people are seeing it? How many people are going to be applying to this job? I'm not going to be the only one applying. There's going to be hundreds, maybe 500 people to 1,000 people applying to the same job posting. Okay. So keep in mind just how easily you found it. So are the other 150 or 20 or 30, whatever number looks like. So when it's visible to everybody, more people are going to be applying to the same job as you, right? Now, the next step to remember is that, well, if hundreds and 200 people are applying to the same job that I am applying to, how do I now ensure that I land the interview? Because company can't interview every single person that's applying to the job. Also, not every single person is qualified or meet the requirements of the job to then equal to getting the interview. Okay, so hence why companies use applicant tracking systems to help them filter through the resumes. When I say filter, I'm gonna explain every little word because some people get so worked up about applicant tracking system and think that someone's giving them wrong advice and so on. So applicant tracking systems, just like marketing, just like businesses use CRM to keep in-house their leads, track their leads, and keep data information on each single lead they're getting and potential clients, then clients. It's kind of like the same concept, just using it to host and house the resumes that are coming in, and then someone can filter through them. Some systems are advanced and have filter settings, and you can filter through incoming resumes based on keywords. And then when you are sitting in that resume ATS, database, someone like me can go in and use some keywords to filter through all the incoming resumes, right? Or in just the resume sitting in the ATS. Think of it like simpler way that I explain it to when I'm coaching on ATS and when I'm talking about ATS is simple terms that you can resonate is just see it as data being dumped in Excel spreadsheet and then you're using filters to filter through. It's the same concept. So I don't know why so many people are getting so worked up by ATS and think that so many there's like misconceptions and there's so many myths about ATS out there. Just simple terms, just remember that it's a database just like Excel. When you have so much data, in order to get through the data, we do use filters. We do use formulas. Like Excel has the formula. And you can use formulas to, go through if X equals this and all. So just, I don't want to get too much into it, but just remember that, okay? That's what's happening on the back end when you're applying to jobs online. Now, when you apply to jobs online, even if a company's not using ATS, it's not to say that every company out there uses ATS, and it's not to say that every company is using the full features of an ATS. That's not the case either. Some recruiters may use all the features an ATS comes with, and some people may not. So you're never gonna have 100% clear picture of what's happening when you hit the click button when you apply to a job online. But here's what I do want you to remember is that when you do hit the reply button, it's simple data analysis. Okay, numbers don't lie. You can start paying attention to just track.
Okay, I found this on the web for a sample data analysis.
Sorry, I don't know why Siri's talking in the background. Sorry. I think I need to like totally turn off my devices. Sorry guys, all my devices are Apple and you're gonna have various different Apple gadgets of mine speaking. I'm so sorry. I didn't even ask her to talk, but that's so funny. So sorry. Okay, so just I had lost my thing. What I was saying. Oh, simple data analysis. Okay. So when you're applying to jobs online, just keep a simple data track record. Numbers don't lie. When you apply to a job online and ask yourself, okay, keep a record, how many jobs you're applying and how many jobs interviews you're landing. Okay, that will give you a clear picture of what's happening with your resume. It's just simple analysis you can be doing every single day. And the reason we want to do analysis here is you don't want to keep applying to jobs and then it's not converting into job interviews. If you're applying to jobs with resume, the sole job of a resume is to get you interviews. And if that's not happening, guess what? The problem is how you wrote it. So just because you wrote a resume doesn't mean boom, fingers crossed, it's gonna work, right? Hence why that's why I'm saying resume alone's not gonna land you an interview. What the key is the how you're writing the resume. When I say how, the words, your positioning, how you writing it. Are you writing it like how are you writing it? So for example, are you just sitting there writing it, I have X amount of years experience, my objective is to land this job, here's my skills, or you writing it so that it is talking to that one job posting that you are applying to for 100%. If you want to land those job interviews when you're applying to a job, you have to take the time to read the job posting. I have 15 years of HR/recruitment experience, and I'm still HR a professional, and I can tell you how many times people don't read the job posting before applying. The job posting is filled with clues of exactly how your resume should be written. Be honest, how many people that are tuned in right now listening to this can honestly say they actually read the entire job posting before they even apply. They read the job posting and then go and tailor the resume. When I say tailor, I don't mean making tweaks. Like people make tweak. I don't like using a word tweak when it comes to resume because people just assume tweak means let me add a little bit of a keyword here and there. So I just drop it in the comments of how many people actually take the time to read the job posting line by line. I am so curious to know this. Gurpreet, please have a review. Not sure what you want me to review. Sorry, I had to jump off. I miscut her hand. Oh. Yes, you can watch these talks on my YouTube channel, GKM Coaching. So make sure that if you guys ever want to watch a replay of any of my LinkedIn lives, they're also being streamed to YouTube. So feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you never miss out on a video. And plus this year I'm no, my intent is to post tons of videos on YouTube, trying to grow my YouTube channel. So do follow, hit my YouTube channel, GKM Coaching. I don't. Okay, so Darshana is saying she does read it. Shubham saying I don't. So Darshana, I mean line by line, okay? Not skimming through it. I don't. Thank you for being honest most of the time. Thank you. I do. Okay. So when you're writing your resume, to me the way I teach resume writing is different from how traditionally people teach resume writing. So I teach it from a sales perspective as a marketing tool, because your resume is your sales, right? It's your marketing. It's that commercial. What you want to do is you want to write a pain point resume. What that means is you need to touch on the pain. That role is created to solve a problem. So let me take a step back to make sure that you guys understand what I mean, right? When it comes to jobs, the role has been created to solve a problem. Each role in an organization exists because it's solving a problem. So remember that. Each role in the organization is created to solve a problem, right? So all day long we are solving problems in our roles. So everybody take account of how many problems you've already solved by the end of the day. You'll come to realize, yeah, you're constantly solving problems, right? Or avoiding problems to arise, okay? So each role in the organization exists to solve a problem. So hence why I'm saying the entire job posting is your clue of the problems you will be solving. So hence when we're writing a resume, we need to write to touch on that pain. Hence it's called pain point resume. When you're touching on the pain, typically people make resumes all about them, and I don't teach resume writing as me. I have this much experience, and look at me, look at my credentials, me. Nobody likes a me. If you really want to skyrocket and land those job interviews, then you need to start getting intentional with your job search, and you need to start thinking like a salesperson. Okay, there's a buyer and there's a seller. You are the salesperson who's selling. The buyer is the company, the employer, and the hiring manager who has a need. Hiring manager has a need, okay? You need to understand their need. I taught this in my masterclass on Tuesday night. You need the first step to successful job searching and landing those interviews and having a successful resume that converts into job interviews. Your resume has to convert into job interviews. In order to do that, you need to understand the need. Why is there a need for this role? What is this role solving? What problems is it solving? Hence the pain point, right? So if you can identify the problems you're going to be solving, it gives you a clue that these are the problems that the organization's facing. That's why the role is created, to solve these problems, right? So simple, very simple. Heavy organization needs talent to solve a problem so they can make money, right? Equals profits. If we're not solving problems, we're not making money, right? Hence why every business exists. Every business exists to solve a problem. That's why we buy. It's biopsychology. It's why we buy. Anybody that's bought anything, just think of the last time you purchased something. You bought it because you had a need. You bought it because it's going to solve a problem for you. You bought it because it's going to yield results and outcome for you. For example, I bought this mic. Why? So that the quality of my voice when I'm speaking, you can hear. Okay. So if I turn this mic off, you'll see a drop in my volume and the quality of my volume, right? Second, so I bought it to solve that problem, so that I was watching my my replays, and I noticed the quality, and I see other people with nice mics, and they were having great sound. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna invest. So I got a mic, and then this is my second mic. So then I upgraded to a different version to have a good sound quality, right? Return on my investment. Now I bought two lights. So there's lights that are projected onto me, so that the quality of my picture quality looks great, where you can see me, and there's no like all dim and dark and all that stuff. Again, solving a problem. So here's the problem I'm in, here's the solution I need, here's my so I problem is my lighting. I look dark when I go LinkedIn Live. Okay, the outcome I want is that I looked very bright. Not that I look bright, my just looks nice and bright. There's no darkness. So the quality, right? So what did I do? What's my solution to the problem? I need to buy lights. But what type of a light I want? Now I go into research, and I do my research and homework and pick the best. So I bought these two LED lights, and so I read the reviews and all that stuff, and I purchased it to solve a problem. Okay, so that's what I'm mean by writing pain point. That role exists because it's going to be solving X, Y, and Z problems. You need to read the job posting to know what the problem is solving. So when you write a resume, your resume is touching on the problem the role wants to solve, right? So the problem, so that's what I mean by pain point resume. You write up, your resume needs to be written so you're touching on the problem. Hence where I say, hey, resume's not landing you job interviews. Why resume loan's not going to land you job interviews? I'm touching on your pain. And that's why you're listening to me. And that's why you will take my advice if it makes sense to you. And if I'm not adding value to you, you're going to leave, right? So keep in mind, that's what companies are doing the same thing. It's very simple, basic. So I like to explain things in simple, basic ways so that we get it. It's just like, I think this whole job search has been complicated. It's really not complicated. Company has a need, and you're fulfilling that need. But you don't want to say, hey, I have X amount of years experience and I can do this for you, right? That's not filling a need. But when you touch on the problem, hey, for example, if your websites, for example, if you're a web developer and the company has a website that is not responsive, it's not getting them leads, they're losing customers when they come onto their website. For example, it's not mobile friendly, it's not tablet like mobile friendly, meaning that people can't, when someone pops it up on their mobile, like now we all use mobile devices, the website's not mobile responsive, so they're losing customers, right? So now now good way would be to for web developer that develops mobile response websites, he or she can write a resume saying how many leads, customer leads, are you losing to not having a responsive mobile website? It's probably costing you tons load of money, right? Each lead a business is losing, they're losing money. So that's just an example of how you can create a pain point base and how you can use words to capture readers' attention. Now, when we're writing a resume, remember it has to have three things. Three things has to happen. One, you need to grab attention of the reader. Once it gets in front of a reader, it needs to grab attention. Okay, you have 5 seconds, 5 to 8 seconds to grab attention. Step 2, you want to engage the reader. So grab attention, engage the reader, because without the engage, if they're not engaged with reading your resume, they're not going to do the last step. And the last step is call to action. So 3 steps needs to happen on your resume. You got to grab attention, you got to engage the reader for them to take call to action. CTA, meaning they need to pick up the phone and call you for an interview or email you and set up an interview, right? Call to action. It's a sales term, call to action, CTA. So 3 things has to be in your resume. Grab attention, engage the reader long enough for them to then boom, prompt them to take action. The action equals job interview. If that is not happening, the problem 100% is in the content. You can have the most amazing looking resume presentation wise. It can be, you can design in Canva because it's so beautiful, right? You grab the reader's attention. But if the reader's not engaged with your content in the resume, they're not going to take the next step. They're going to just pass and move on to the next resume. Let me know if this is resonating. Let me know if this is helping you. And this is what I teach in my coaching program. It's 8 weeks coaching program. Not only do I teach you step by step on a write a resume, I'm also there to help you fine tune it, rewrite it, help you write it. Not only do I teach it, I also help you write it in our coaching sessions where you can bring your resume and we will work together to create a resume that's pinpoint. So in my coaching program, I have a whole module just on writing a resume. I have a whole module on pain point and LinkedIn profile and all that stuff. So remember that, or just because you have a resume doesn't equal that you're going to be successful in landing job interviews. I don't read it. Only to jobs I'm interested in. Here you mean to say you have to write a resume each time before applying. I'm not saying you have to write a resume every single time you apply to a job. Hence why first step is to avoid writing a resume every single time, okay? My strategy on this is first step is you need to get crystal clear on what is that you want. What is that role that you want? Identify the want. Get crystal clear on what do you want. The role you want. What is that role you're targeting, right? Your resume needs to be target based. Before you begin your job search, in order to be successful in your job search, you need to know what you're targeting. So this is where people are playing that numbers game. People are just writing resumes and applying to jobs and then wishing and praying that they would just land a job interview and they'll just land a job. But then how many people end up in roles that are not aligned with their true potential and you're not happy in the role and you begin your job search, right? So hence you need to be very intentional with what you want. That's the key to successful job searching, is being intentional, getting very crystal clear on what you want. Define it first. Define the role you want. Write it down, define it. When I say define it, don't just write 5-6 sentences and call it a day. Really define it in depth. Go deep into defining what is that you want, okay? Psychology around this is that the first 10 things you write are just the easy thing that come into your mind that you want. To get to the heart of your soul, heart to what you really want, you got to write more than 10 things. 20, 30, 40. Then we're really getting into the heart of what you really want, what your heart's craving. So you got to understand what you are craving. We need to tune out the noise. So quiet, silent. Silence your mind, silence your energy to a still energy. Okay? If your mind's like all over the place, you're never going to get clarity. So that's step one, getting clarity on what is that you want, the role you want. Then you can go write. I teach, I have steps. I actually teach people to write career journals. I have a whole step on writing a resume. But in the end of the steps, what we do create is a master resume. So that's where the tweaking comes in. Once you have a master resume targeting the job, your dream job, because you're crystal clear on which one you want, now you create a master template of it. And then when you're looking for jobs online, then you tweak it. It cuts down the legwork. And the way I teach it, the tweaking becomes so easy because I teach you step by step. I have a career journals, then we go into long version of your resume, and then we go into actually creating a master resume. The long version of your resume is full on with fully written sentences for each of your job. And at the end of the day, when you create the master template, we can't put everything. Your resume is a marketing tool, right? But we can't put everything. So hence why we need to tweak it based on what we're applying to. So when you're applying to jobs, then you can go back to your long version of your resume and just pull out the things just matching the job posting you're applying to and remove everything. So I teach this method in my coaching program, the master template, the master resume, and then the only thing we are removing are just the bullet points. So the way I teach resume format, how to format a resume and the style, it becomes such a piece of cake to tweak when you're applying to jobs online. So cuts down so much hours at work because we are doing the legwork up front. So no, you're not supposed to write a resume to every job you're applying to. If you follow my methods and how I teach how to write a resume, you won't be writing a resume to every job. You'll be writing the resume to the one you want, and you create a master template, which then you tweak before you apply to the job. That's why we need to tweak. Agree? Yes, agree about this pain point. It's pain point, not it's pain. P-A-N, okay, P-A-I-N, pain point. Can you please explain about the summary objectives in a resume? I don't teach writing summaries or objectives. Objectives, honestly speaking, I'm gonna keep it very truthful with you and be very transparent. Nobody cares about your objective. Hence, objectives are so outdated way of writing a resume. It was something taught like so many years ago, 70s, 80s, even in the 90s. I remember in high school when I was doing co-op class, I had to write a resume to get a co-op position. And we were taught, that's how we were taught to write, right? Objective. See, like in the 80s, 70s, 60s, 80s, and 90s, the objective was okay. But times have changed. But sadly, the way people are teaching resume isn't changing, and how people are writing resumes isn't changing. Objectives is an old method that worked so many years ago, but now it isn't about you. Companies are not interested in, at first, companies are not interested about you. They're interested in what they need. Hence why we write value proposition statements instead of summaries and objective. Then that's what I also teach in my coaching program and resume writing course. I also have a resume writing course that I teach you how to write a value proposition statement that makes the employer in the center. They're the center focus and not you. You're the back seat. Your resume has to be about making the hiring manager and the employer the center focus, and you are the background. You're the solution to the problem. So the resume is pain point. You're touching on the pain. You're obviously selling the value proposition. You touch on the pain. Here's what you're in. Here's the solution you need, and here's the outcome results you want, and here's how I can solve these problems because I've already solved them, and that your experience is your social proof that you've solved these problems for X, Y, and Z companies, and that's how, and when you solve them, this is how they benefited. And that's why we need to quantify percentages, dollar value, maybe you save X amount of money. So when writing a resume, we also got to make sure that we have facts, figures, quantifying, data needs to be in it because it captures attention, and it needs to be written in a way that grabs attention, engages, and call to action. So make sure you also have facts and figures written in your resume. Kim, thank you for providing clarity in such a nice way. You are welcome, Jagdish. Jogesh. I'm so sorry, I'm pronouncing your name wrong. It's Jogesh. What section should we focus on resume if you don't have experience for a job you're applying to? Okay, so another great question. What section to focus on a resume if you don't have experience? You're supposed to see. Let me explain this. Your entire resume, every section of your resume is important. So there's not a magic solution that, hey, if you don't have this, then focus on this section of the resume, because your entire resume is gonna be uploaded into applications when you're applying, right? And when someone is reading it, they're gonna go through the entire resume, even if they're skimming through it, right? So the other thing I forgot to touch on is, lastly, your resume needs to be written at scannable copy. My sales coach uses this term, scannable copy, meaning human nature, we're going to scan for things, right? So if your that's why formatting becomes really important. So it's formatted the way in a way that it's easy to scan, so that reader can easily just scan first. to find the information to then want to read it, right? So human thing, we first going to be scanning quickly. That's why I don't teach people using bullets the whole format of their resume. That's why you need to pair it with having a value proposition statement, you have a skills table, you have a proven statement written, proven experience of something is bolded. Then you go into your job experience where you have a paragraph that explains what you're doing in the role, your job responsibilities, and what you do, what the function you perform in that role. Then you use bullets to talk on the solutions you've provided, the problems, the solution, right? You solved this problem and it generated X amount result, right? Implemented X solution, which generated X results. That's what needs to be in the bullet. And then you're bolding certain keywords to prompt so that becomes scannable, if that makes sense. So when you don't have, what section should you focus on if you don't have experience for the job you're applying to? You wouldn't be applying to a job if you couldn't do it, correct? So technically you already have experience. The reason I love this question is everybody gets, a lot of people get a misconception on experience. A lot of times individuals think, and maybe, you know, it's no fault to you, we've been conditioned to think that experience, I don't know who came up with this conditioning and how we got conditioned to think that only job experience equals experience, which is not true. I never believed that philosophy ever. And I learned right from the get-go as a new grad that my projects in school equals experience. So that's how I position them. So now when you don't have a job experience, but you have maybe school experience, your projects, maybe it's a hobby you love doing, you want to now position all of this as experience. That's the key. Okay. And I learned this right off the bat from a grad student, a new grad, sorry, that my thesis, we didn't have a thesis, being an IT program. So your last year of school, depending on what program you're in, you may have a thesis, you may have a capstone project. So we had a capstone project. So we worked with the company for a whole 1 year. So that whole 1 year is my experience. And that's how I positioned it as on my resume when I was a new grad. I positioned all the projects I worked at school throughout my degree program as experience. And that's what my advice to everybody is. Even if you're switching careers, every experience you have is still an experience. You don't have to be paid to get the experience. You can get the experience every single day. So Navpreet, I hope that helped. Hope that helps. I hope I answered your question. Can you also tell how to message the HRs on LinkedIn? What is the right approach to message them? Love this question. This is my favorite question. Here's where everybody goes wrong. Messaging HR and recruiters on LinkedIn. Now, here's why this method doesn't work. And you're going to have a slower conversion rate. You message HR, guess what? You're not the only one. I can tell you how many people message me because I'm HR. I can tell you how many messages recruiters are getting in a day. So the key, this is again, the conditioning. We've been conditioned that we need to go after HR, but that's not how you can. If you really want to get fast results in your job search, then you need to think outside of the box, not in the box. This is typical advice that everybody is getting, and everyone's doing this, messaging HR. So what's happening is that HR and recruiters like myself, our inboxes are being clogged by people messaging us. And humanly, it's impossible to go through all your DMs, right? So then your messages fall through the cracks because someone else's message, and your message can easily be gone through the cracks, and then HR and recruiters are not replying back to you, right? Now, if you want to be successful, then remove the middleman, HR and recruiters, and go directly to the decision maker, hiring manager. And that's what I teach in my coaching program. That's 8 weeks long coaching program. And this is how I help people successfully land jobs in 30 days, 28 days, 35 days, or all less than 60 days, and doubling and tripling their salaries, because I teach a strategic approach. I don't teach generic, and then I don't give generic advice like do this, that everyone's doing. If you really want to stand out of the crowd and really land those high paying salary jobs, you want to double your income salaries, you want to land a job fast, then you need to do things differently. Everyone is doing the same thing and expecting to get different outcome, but this continue to do the same thing. You know the famous line, you can't keep doing things the same way and expect a different outcome. You're going to keep getting the same outcome. What needs to change is your approach, your strategy needs to change. And I have a proven blueprint and I have a proven strategies that I teach. That's how people are getting fast results. So if anybody wants to work with me, feel to DM me. How should I select the best format for my resume? I mean, there are so many formats out there, but not sure how IT companies and banks respond to them. It's not about formats. Napreet, this is what I discussed earlier, that it's not about formats. It doesn't matter what format of a resume you have. What really matter is the content. How you're writing, what you're writing, the what. Content. Okay? Content matters. Content. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I think I've answered all questions. Let me know if anybody has any more questions. Oh, another famous question. 1-page resume, 2-page or 3-page resume. I don't teach, there's so much, hey, whatever works for you. But I'm going to tell you, you need to understand first things first. If you're applying to job online, don't worry about 1-page resume. That should never even cross your mind, because it's humanly impossible to get everything in on 1 page, even as a new grad. So follow a rule of thumb: 2-page resume for new grad, 2 entry level. If you're intermediate, you can get away with 2.5 to 3 pages, right? So I'm not saying submit a 5-6 page essay, but stay within 2 to 3. So new grads, 2 pages. I had someone was giving advice that to new grads that your resume should be 1 page because you're a new grad. No. When I was a new grad in 2000, oh my God, so many years ago, 2004, my resume was 2-page. 2-page, and as a new grad, again, your experience, you have experience, your resume, your projects, right? So your resume should be 2 to 3 pages depending on the level you're at. Okay, 1-page typically I teach 1 page in my program as a pitch, not for applying to jobs, but as a pitch, which you can pitch to, like you can use it as when you're pitching and doing cold reach, or you can put it on your LinkedIn as a portfolio, like a quick little snippet. 1 page is like a snippet. But if you're applying to jobs online, the snippet of a 1 page is not going to work, because people want to see, do you have the qualifications? Do you have the skills? Do you have, if it's a technical, do you have a technical skills? Your experience, right? So it's impossible. And what's happening is, like, people are getting caught up and, oh my God, it's going to be 1 page. And then I seen this too, and someone else talked about this on LinkedIn too, was then people getting caught up in like what needs to be 1 page, that they shrink the font size. Now, speaking of font size, your font size should be at least 12. Not even 10. I don't think it should be 10. I write all my documents in 0.12. Maybe 14, but average 12, right? It needs to be readable. Worst is I'm getting a resume like HR recruiter and I can't even read it. I literally need to zoom in to make the fonts big. And guess what? What's the chances? Like if someone has to, here's the thing. I'm going to keep it real, okay? when we're recruiting, we're not getting so many resumes. You want to make the reader's life easy. If they have to zoom in, they can't read, they're going to get frustrated, right? And then they're going to overlook you because they have so many other resumes to go through. So it becomes you kind of like already ruled yourself out. You kind of like already ruled yourself out, right? So what I tell people is, listen, you want to make the reader's life easy, where they don't have to do anything other than just read your resume, and they can find all the information. So don't get caught up in 2-page, 3-page, or 1-page. Just know, if you're applying to jobs online, you need to have the right information in the resume. And if that means 2-page, you go with 2-page. 3rd page, if you're a career professional with experience, the last page of your resume just has education. So my resume, if you look at my resume, the last page of my resume, which is page 3, just has my credentials. But I easily nip that credentials in the butt by listing my credentials right after my last name. So the recruiter or reader doesn't have to go looking for my education. They can see right off the bat, right from my name, and right behind my name will be credentials, that I have credentials, right? I have BCom, I have this certification, that. So they see it, and now they're interested in reading my resume. They don't need to go scroll looking for that information first. So it just depends on what is important. If a role says you must have X certification, you want to make sure you highlight that right off the top of the bat. So positioning, again, marketing. Everything is marketing tactics that I'm teaching you, right? The psychology around this. What you want to do is you want to make the reader's life easy to understand. That's why I'm telling you, everything, all the clues are in the job posting on how to position everything on your resume and what needs to be in it. Hope this makes sense. And honestly, I'm going to tell you one thing. Please learn how to write a resume. It's a skill that you need in your entire career life. It's a skill that you're never, ever not going to need. You're always going to need to know how to position, market, and sell yourself. So invest the money into learning. It amazes me how many people don't want to invest the money to learn how to write it. Amazes me how many people would rather pay $2,000-$3,000 to get a resume written or get their LinkedIn profiles written. What are you gonna do when you need to rewrite it or retweak it? Pay another $2,000-$3,000? Why not save that $3,000, not every time, and just invest the $3,000 into my coaching program and learn everything you need to learn to successfully land interviews and set your career up on autopilot success, so you're never out of a job. These are everything I teach are practical skills you need to be successful as a career professional. You need to know how to write a resume. You need to know how to position yourself on LinkedIn. You need to know how to market and sell yourself to land job opportunities. You need to know how to convert those job interviews into job offers. If you don't know how to do any of it, all of them go hand in hand in order to equal success in job search, right? Job landing, job interviews. So invest the money to learn these skills that are lifetime skills that you need in order to be successful. Just like you've invested money in getting education, those degrees, those credentials, certifications, you need to equally invest in learning the skills that are going to set you up for success and put it on autopilot. Okay, if anybody wants to work with me, and that's what my expertise are, and my expertise and that's what I specialize in. I help career professionals. I teach these life skills that you need to set yourself up for success. I help people land jobs in 30 days, 28 days, 35 days, within 60 days. That's my track record. I can get you hired in 30 days. I can get you hired in 3 weeks. I can get you in a job that doubles and triples your salaries. You can beat so many people undervaluing their talents and undervaluing their worth. A lot of people that I've worked with truly didn't even know that they can land even a 6-figure job because they thought they need to have X amount of years experience, which is not true at all. It's not about the number of years experience you have. It's all about positioning. I've helped someone with 5 years experience land a 6-figure role, a director level role, making same amount of money that someone with 20 years experience in a director role is making. and she only has 5. So it's all about positioning, and it's all about having the confidence and believing. If I can leave you guys with one message today, it would be that every single one of you is truly gifted. Every single one of you has talent that is unique to just you. So talent equals natural ability, something you're naturally good at. And guess what? We all have it. Every single one of us is naturally gifted at something. Every single one of us naturally has a talent or talents. You need to spend some time to discover what your talents are. You are talented, you're a unique, talented individual, and there is companies out there that need your talent. I'm not saying every company out there that needs your talent, but there are companies out there that need your talent. Talent has nothing to do with number of years experience you have or what credentials you have, and has everything to do with your natural gift, something you're talented naturally. And then you just further that training, right? We hear about, oh, she's such a gifted singer, she's such a talented guitarist or piano player. People are naturally gifted at something, and then they start training and hire coaches or trainers to keep developing that natural gift, right? So you are also talented. Every single one of you out there is talented. You are a talented, unique individual. Your uniqueness is what's the key to success in your career and landing those amazing jobs that you will love and make money, right? Like your talent is what you're going to be charging companies for. You're not charging company for the experience and credentials you have. You're charging companies for the unique talent you bring to the table. Also, your brain, your superpower, your brain. This is the key. And we've never been taught to think like this. We've been so conditioned to believe that it's our degrees and our experience, number of years experience we have, that will determine how we climb up the ladder. No, that's not how we climb the ladder. How we climb the ladder is our understanding of our unique talents, what our brain is capable of doing, what we're capable of doing, what our brain is, what companies are making money from, right? Our brains and our talents is how companies are profiting from us. You deserve to make the same profit. I'm not saying, if companies are making billions of dollars, you need to charge them billions of dollars. What I'm saying is company is profiting from your brain and talents. You deserve to get the piece of the pie. Meaning the key is knowing how much your talents are worth and positioning yourself. So it starts with you, right? You need to own that power. You need to understand your self-worth and never take a penny less. And that is why I do what I do, and I help career professionals just like you find that talent, find that uniqueness, your natural talent, the natural gifts you have, and your brain, what your brain's capable of doing, and then we build the marketing around that for you to market and position you, and then we sell you on that, position you, align you with those companies that need your talents, and will pay you top dollars to get you. Okay, that's the key to success. Remember this, okay? So thank you for tuning in. I'll be back maybe next week or maybe tomorrow, but Fridays I usually do a Q&A 11 a.m. in the morning, so feel free to join. If you have any Q&A questions, I'll be on tomorrow. If anybody wants to work with me, you want to hire me as your career coach, I do charge. Full disclaimer, I do charge. If anybody needs my help, you really need to, you need that extra help. Some people can run with my advice. I get those messages too. Hey, Gurpreet, I've been following you, listen to your posts, I read your posts and listen to your LinkedIn lives, and it helped me land my dream job or help me motivate me. That's great, and I'm happy. But then there are some people that need to be shown how to do it. Some people can just run with what advice someone's giving, and then some people need the extra help. So if you need that extra help, message me, and I'd be so happy to work with you. Nothing rewards me and fulfills me more than seeing my clients transform right in front of me and land those amazing jobs and then 6-figure incomes. or doubling and tripling. You don't have to be making six figure. I've taken someone from 38K to landing 76K salary job in matter of 28 days. So truly, 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 you know, you are fully empowered to making whatever money you want to make in your career. Own that power, take that power back and own it. And if you don't know how to do this, message me and I will get you results. Well, you're gonna have to hire me as a career coach. I would love to work with anybody that wants to make this year the year that they're truly in a job that is aligned with the true potential, gives you the work-life balance you want. You're not being worked like a dog by company, and then you're also getting paid for your unique talents and your brain. So message me, DM me. I look forward to working with you. Bye, guys.